everyone, today's topic is sound symbolic patterns in Pokemon names, and this study was proposed by three Japanese scholars, Kawahara, Noto, Kumagai, in 2018 in Phonetica. Phonetica is a very famous and international phonetic science journal. And before we get into that, we're gonna figure out some concepts. First, sound symbolism means non-arbitrary association between sounds and meanings. For example, a high vowel often means small and tiny in people's view. Mimetics, it means that words that use sound symbolism to depict sensory experience. Especially in Japanese, golo golo means heavy object rolling, and golo golo means light object rolling, and some Pokemon names are based on mimetics. And morus means basic rhythmic units in Japanese phonology. You can use an analogy to the English syllables. So there are some types of morals, such as vowels alone means add, and consonant plus vowel, such as ka, and syllabic nasal, which is in hon, and first part of the germinates, which means the ku in kapu. For example, Pikachu has four morals. And loan words means words borrowed from other languages, and this was set especially for Japanese. For example, in Pokemon names, many names are based on English and other languages, such as Ghost and Gosoto and Gajo and Gaga. And vowels means speech sounds produced with relatively open vocal tract. In Japanese, there are ad, I, U, I, O, and the role is that vowel quality can convey size, shape, or emotion. And high or low vowels, high vowels produced with tones raised, such as I and U. In English, it's B and U. Sound symbolism often associated with light, small, and quick things, and low vowels produced with tone lower, such as ad and English are, and the symbolism of that is often associated with large and heavy slow objects. Obstruent means sounds produced with significant constriction or closure in the vocal contract, creating turbulence or blockage, such as voiceless p, t, k, s, and voiced obstruents, such as b, d, g. So the background of this study is based on sound symbolism, and the background of that is cross-linguistic patterns we observe, such as voiced obstruents, often means heavy and large images. And also, Japanese has a rich system of sound symbolic mimetics, and Pokemon names often derive from Japanese mimetics or loanwords. So the research questions is that do phonetic features in Pokemon names often correlate with the character's physical and strength attributes? And the hypothesis of that is more voice obstruents often means larger, heavier, stronger, higher evolution of the Pokemon. And longer names, which in other words, more morals, means larger, heavier, stronger, and higher evolution. And high vowels in initial syllables means smaller and lighter. This is the hypothesis the Japanese scholars proposed. So the method we're using is an experiment. So the corpus of that is all Japanese Pokemon names available as of October 2016. And the independent variable of the experiment is the number of voice obstruents, number of morals, and initial vowel quality. And the dependent things is the height, weight, evolution level, and 6 strength parameters of the Pokemon, such as health, attack, defense, and speed. And the analysis we're using is non-parametric Spearman correlation for voice obstruents and moral counts. And we'll concern sign rank tests for pre and post evolution comparisons, and chi-square tests and residual analysis for direction of change, and regression analysis and ANOVA for vowel quality effects, and multiple regression to test independence of voice obstruents and moral counts. And for the results, about voice obstruents, we can observe a significant positive correlations with size, weight, evolution level, and all strength parameters except speed, and it is consistent with the frequency code hypothesis proposed by Ohala in 1984. It basically states that low frequency sounds are larger and heavier images. About the moral counts, we observe a significant positive correlations with size, weight, evolution level, and all strength parameters. So this actually demonstrates longer is stronger pattern, and similar patterns found in another game called Dragon Quest. For the evolution comparisons, we can see a kind of decrease after evolution of voice obstruents. Only 14% of the voice obstruents remained, and in other cases, voice obstruents increase or stay constant. About moral counts, it's typically increase and stay constant, and for some cases, it decrease after evolutions, like only 6%. And these two phenomena supports association between evolution and increased voice obstruents or longer names. About vowel quality, higher vowels such as e and u means smaller and lighter on average of height and weight. No significant effects on evolution level, but some strength parameters show the effects, like add means higher speed attack, but patterns were not consistent. The impact and implications of this study, it established the very first large-scale quantitative corpus study of sound symbolism in Japanese, and it basically confirms impressionistic intuitions about voice obstruents. And it also introduces a novel dimension like longer is stronger, especially in Pokemon's game. And it demonstrates that the sound symbolism operates in proper noun naming. For example, like Pokemon's name or other people's other gaming things, and it supports cross-linguistic validity of the frequency quote hypothesis. The limitations are apparent. It only analyzes Japanese names, not cross-linguistic, and it didn't examine all possible sound features, such as place of articulations, long vowels, and geminates. Vowel effects were weak and partly inconsistent, and the correlation design cannot establish causation. So this will make us to further study of this kind of subjects. So I propose some suggested future research. First, to analyze Pokemon names in other languages, such as English, Chinese, and French, and explore other phonological features, such as labial consonants, long vowels, and geminates, and to investigate whether patterns are internalized by speaker through some experimental studies, to examine other dimensions, such as type, class, gender, etc. of the Pokemon itself. This is the references of this study. Thank you.